Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tales of SEGLESIA. My name is Matt, your chaotic and writer, and dang, it is fantastic to see all y'all. You beautiful faces, you beautiful people, you. Did you get a haircut? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh, it looks so fresh. Is that some new cologne? Is that some new perfume? Wow, you're really presenting yourself today. Hey, pat yourself on the back for being such a beautiful human. I applaud you. Come on. Congratulations. You made it. Thank you very much for showing up. And tonight, this is going to be the session before Memorial Day weekend here in the States. And I'm going to be celebrating Memorial Day weekend, that is to say my 4 days off work, going up north and enjoying the wilderness for the most part, away from people, because to a certain extent I would like to spend my time away from people. However, only within close proximity over digital. I'm 100%, my friends. I welcome all of you to come to the table and let me twist a fable, as another dungeon master might throw down. Hey, so there are a few things I want to update you on. First and foremost, I am super excited and super happy that this week, if you look over down yonder, you know where I'm pointing at? That is the follower section down there, where it shows how many followers I've hit. It is not actually 307 because that's false, but it hit 300, and I am super appreciative and super happy, and I want to give a big thank you to everybody that has decided to jump in and support me over these past at this point, past couple years, and especially everybody that has showed up for the past couple months. So I just want to say, mwah, mwah. Thank you very much. I feel very loved and very appreciated. Thank you. Shower me with love. Anyways, so tonight is going to be a particularly important session because we are finally entering into the fold. I know I've been teasing you with it, but we're finally going to enter into the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters. And we are going to investigate, finally, what the interior of this Mages Academy gone amok is going to look like. And you will be presented with a new regional map, and you will be presented with all sorts of new challenges to witness our players contest with. And if there's anything that I can, there's anything I can give you a forecast on now, is that expect the unexpected, because magic is the perfect tool for a DM such as me to really twist and turn the story in many different directions. I don't have to relate myself to reality. I can use magic in order to articulate the strange and unusual. And our party is going to be experiencing the strange and unusual as they go deeper and deeper into the bowels of this Mages Academy. But we have an entourage tonight, so allow me to bring it in, and say hello to our esteemed players. As I go ahead and unmute. Hello, everybody.
Hello there.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
We have ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Oh
God.
It's like I try not to cringe, but oh god.
I mean,
Oh no, cringe.
It's my stream and I can do what I want to. Do what I want to. You are free to cringe though. You are encouraged to cringe because that's my
would
own, that's my
cringe
only
too.
quality control at this point is the cringe.
I'll just cringe internally.
All right. So we have the present roster. Which is the present roster? Well, that is going to be Magpie 18 playing as Volvari.
Hello.
That will be Phoenix V playing as Orgoth.
Hello.
That shall be Masters 8 playing as Bala.
Oh, hi.
That will be Ambrose playing as Zug.
I'm scared. We're gonna attack.
And that will be Dr. the recently deceased Dr. Squiggums playing as Windveer.
Then hoof picks.
Send who picks. But I jest. We don't know what's going to happen. That is the excitement of it all.
We definitely haven't decided purple flowers for the funeral.
Purple would be a fantastic color.
Isn't it?
It's fit for royalty, for a noble such as Windveer, and everybody will be crying at that funeral.
Exactly.
Everybody who is of note and anybody who is not of note does not matter because nobility.
Only the no.
How are you feeling, Windveer?
I'm ready. I'm also warning you, if anything happens, I'm sending in Blaze.
Noted. Duly noted. For context, Blaze is a goblin who is also a fire starter. Quite literally a fire starter.
So an actual pyro.
Yes, an actual pyro. That has been playing in the Gallows Humor short campaign, of which I'm going to revive in the next few coming weeks. I know I've been sort of like poking at that idea, but also y'all can expect that to be something to be revisited here on the stream. No dumb cringy question from me this evening. I will be spending some of my weekend time trying to figure out a new format for opening up my D&D streams, because I realize that sometimes it's a hit or miss, and I need more hits than misses. So, hey, I just want to ask you one question, one non-cringy question. Are you all ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons this evening?
Maybe.
I thought this was
Yes, we
Spanish
are.
class.
Let's play game.
So let us play game. And let us enter into the world of Tahiri on the continent of Leonios, but most specifically, the city of SEGLESIA. In this city, a civil war has been breaking out. And, well, let me retcon that. A civil war has been raging for the past few months. And our esteemed adventurers have found themselves continuously in the employ of Roxy Righteous, their agent, their fixer, the individual that assists in accepting the intake of different quest opportunities for them to take on. However, Roxy has taken a bit of a leave. In that leave, our characters have decided to essentially follow up with a lead stemming directly to the faction known as the Vanguard. The Vanguard is a faction which believes that a revolution is coming. A revolution, while one attempt has taken place recently, the Vanguard will stop at nothing to ensure that SEGLESIA, and by extension Leonios, becomes a land of the people. However, the matter of their meeting was to a little different. Was different of a tone. As it seems that even the Vanguard sees a grave danger brewing beneath the city, with the emergence of an infestation of intellect devourers that has been appearing here and there across the map. The Vanguard has decided to pool together its resources to call upon a known, renowned family for an operative to engage in this mission, and has also called forth the Righteous Sacrifice to provide them a briefing and to give them the charge of entering in to the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters and to get to the bottom of why the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters is protected by a magic barrier. What exists precisely on the other side of this barrier? And to track down Dace Artemon, of whom may be at the bottom of the recent cataclysm. Why the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters is quarantined, and may have information which could spell out the ultimate danger to the city. As we unravel this quest, we are first going to zero in on one particular character. One character of whom found themselves in the midst of battle with the rest of the party. And yet, in the midst of that exact battle, they found themselves being, well, being taken off of their feet and falling beneath the floor, as if a void had opened up beneath them. And as in this particular case, there was no keeper to show themselves, to show up and place our hero Zug into the realm of dreams. Zug, this entire time, has been conscious through the process of emerging into a void of which has no sense of space or time. As we pick it up from this scene here, Zug, you are weightless. You find yourself floating through an empty void. It appears like a vibrant night sky, but instead of it simply being above you, it is completely surrounding you, and you are without ground to step upon, and you are without a sense of where or when you are. You feel as if you are somewhere in between existence and non-existence. And because you have not been made unconscious, as is the tradition of the keepers, when one takes one into the void, I would like you to roll a wisdom saving throw to see how you are mentally handling this situation.
Oh god. Wisdom save, you said?
Wisdom save. Well, that is a
Oh,
3.
fuck. I'm having an eagle death.
So, you are somebody who can go toe-to-toe with the biggest and meanest of them. You're somebody who can throw your fists left and right at whatever target you can get your hands on. And you feel absolutely powerful as an orc with powerful fists. However, there is nothing to stand upon. There is nothing to gaze upon. There's nothing to punch out here. And you feel this deep-seated feeling at the core of your being. A sense of powerlessness. Because all the things that you are good for seem completely useless out here. What is it that you say, and what is it that you do?
What the fuck? Zug dead? Is Zug dead? Hey, bigger mans, Zug out here, where are you? Fuck.
And because you have rolled a 3, you've been in this state. You actually don't know how long you've been in this state. In reality, it has been a number of hours. Just sort of floating out in the middle of nowhere. You don't even necessarily know that there's air to breathe out here. It's almost as if you just don't feel the sensation of air coming in and out of your lungs, but you're not going unconscious. It's very trippy. However, in due time, you do hear a voice. And the voice is distant at first. It doesn't seem like it's... It seems like it is calling from far away. But in due time, it gets closer and closer. And you hear... How did you get here?
I don't know. Zug was like talking. A lot of people was like talking around Zug, and I think Zug just died.
No, you're clearly not dead.
They were talking like a lot of complicated stuff. Maybe Zug died of being stupid.
No, I have met those far, far dumber. And it seems to amaze me that they have lived as long as you. What is the last thing you remember?
Being Speaker Man, Vanguard Man, Planning Man.
Something is clearly wrong. I am usually not disrupted by the presence of someone awake in this realm. But
Is that you, Bigger Man?
indeed, one moment. Let me see if I can pull you out of this state. And you hear thunder in the distance. It starts off at something that comes from a certain point in space, and then it reverberates and sort of washes over you. And then the sound completely envelops your ears. And suddenly, you feel gravity. And that gravity pulls you down. It pulls you down fast and hard. And you feel your body flying through this space to the point where you can feel yourself begin to stretch out. You feel yourself being pulled like rubber as you are zooming farther and faster through this mysterious space. And suddenly, a hole opens up beneath you. And as you gaze down into the hole, you realize that just beyond the hole, there is ground. And you're going to need to make a dexterity saving throw as you are being pulled through the hole and you are about to land upon this ground. You rolled a 14. One moment as I bring up the map in question. And as you are pulled further and faster and are pulled through this hole, you find yourself landing on the ground with a thunk as you strike the dirt beneath you. Well, not precisely the dirt beneath you. You fall upon a fur rug in a torch-lit hut. And as you see lights dance in your eyes from the experience of being pulled through space and time like this, you look about, and as your eyes begin to adjust, you see a familiar figure. Well, it's nice of you to drop in.
What the fuck? The fuck just happened? Mogus Mans.
I am not sure, to be completely honest. The space that you have just come from, that you have been floating in, is a space that I travel to regularly in my meditations. How you ended up there, completely awake, is strange, to say the least. I am sensing that something has changed with how individuals, those tapped by the hands of fate, are pulled into this space when it is their time to step away. he looks over to you, and he steps over, and he says, I had sensed that you wished to see me.
Yeah, actually, this is all just very weird. We're fighting mans, the towery explosiony stuff. I don't know how to explain it. I just wanted a blessing from the bigger man.
Tell me again what you saw before you had entered that realm between space and time.
Oh, before, I was in room, very much people talking complicated ideas. Zach board.
And that was all. I thought I heard the sounds of battle, but that could have been my imagination.
Oh no.
Well, in which case, you are here now, and you had wished to come to me for some communion.
Yeah,
With the god of slaughter, is that correct?
the bigger mans. Yeah.
What is it that you wish to speak to Mogus about?
Zach just want blessing to be like stronger or something, so he can go in there and sacrifice like more people in name of bigger man.
Mugarad grins and says, Yes. You know as well as I that Mogus does appreciate a good sacrifice.
Oh yeah.
If it is too revealing as to why I knew you would desire to come here, is because I have been communing with the god Mogus for these past number of hours. And he had informed me that you would have likely went out to seek my assistance.
Wait, bigger man told you I was coming?
Indeed.
Zuggy looks a little teary-eyed.
Oh, bigger man's no Zach then.
Indeed, bigger man. Sorry, Mogus. Mogus is a god that does not regard the value of life, but does regard the value of might. And it seems that Mogus does have a charge for you.
Nice.
However, it was not the intention for Mogus to share this information with me.
Oh, what?
Allow me to explain. My gifts as the Eye of Mogus for the Wild Fist clan enables me to commune with Mogus, to send blessings, empowerments from Mogus to those of this clan. I am someone who has dedicated their life and their entire meaning to serving the god of slaughter. However, in certain moments, it has not been the will of Mogus to speak to me, but to rather speak through me. If you are seeking to have a conversation with Mogus, then I must warn you. This is not merely a typical conversation you would have with one of your fellow party members, or even a conversation that you would have with me. If you are to speak with the god of slaughter, then you must provide him your utmost attention and devotion. If you lose his patience, he may never speak to you henceforth. Granted, many of his followers are those who would be, well, more about brawn and less about intelligence. So, I wouldn't think about it too much. I would rather revere Mogus as you would revere the biggest of mans. Is that understood?
He's so big. And by the way, I found out he's bigger than this other god man's, Iroa's man's. He's bigger than that.
Why don't you tell him yourself?
Well,
And,
tell who? What do you mean?
Mugarod is going to step over to his place where he had been meditating previously. And as he does so, he reaches a stool where there is a bowl of blood. And he dips his finger into the blood, and he begins speaking an incantation. And as he is speaking, he begins drawing arcane symbols into the fur rugs where he is standing. These symbols are not... You wouldn't recognize these symbols. They are the symbols of somebody who is of extreme arcane knowledge. Someone who, as if they are writing a letter to the gods themselves. And amongst these symbols, he places a circle along with the constellation of Mogus. And he falls to his knees, and as he is chanting, his body begins to sway back and forth. His voice begins speaking in a much more rhythmic tone. And his voice seems to envelop the entire room almost as if the torches themselves are responding to his voice. Each syllable allows the torches to dim for just a moment, to flicker. And then, like a chorus, more and more voices begin chanting and chanting, and the torches grow dimmer and dimmer until, finally, they go out completely. And they begin to glow and light up once again, a crimson red. And as you are standing in this room, you look down to Mugarod, and he is sitting there on his knees, hunched over, and he doesn't seem to be moving.
Hey, Eye of Mogus, Maz.
I'm gonna poke him.
You're going to poke him?
Yes.
As you poke him, his head raises up. And he doesn't face you. He just stares forward. His eyes, from even looking at him from the side of his face, his eyes are completely pale. And that is when you hear the following. Zug.
Zug.
Does Zug recognize the voice?
You get a sensation deep down. A deeply felt sensation that seems to boil your blood a little bit. Not boil it, but make it feel hot.
He's going to fall to his knees like immediately.
I want you to stand by because I'm just trying to make sure this is.
Just stand by because I'm just trying to make sure that my voice mod's working correctly.
It is, yes.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah.
That's not the right one. I want this one.
That was immersion breaking. However, you kneel down and you hear the following voice.
Zug of the Floaty Rock Tribe. You are about to enter a place wrapped in death and decay. You come to speak to me. Speak plainly. What is it that you wish from me?
Okay, so I'll be playing. First of all, it's a pleasure, as always. Bigger Mans. Okay, so Zug came here as, cause Zug wanna get stronger and, like, kill more people and maybe not die and stuff.
You wish for strength.
Oh yeah, and size. I love being tall.
All who worship me wish for strength. But this is not the full truth. There is something more important in your soul. I can sense it. Tell me what you wish to use this strength for. Why should I grant it to you?
I feel like Zug represents Bigger Mans very well. Zug even has brand, Mogus brand. Look,
And he's pointing at his chest.
Zug kind of famous, arena mans. I don't know. Zug really like you and stuff.
You immediately begin feeling the tattoo on your chest burn, but not like a light burn, but like a painful burn.
Ow!
It's pretty painful.
Ow! That hurts. But yeah, Zug just want to get stronger, you know, to make mission easier, to make friends safer.
As you feel the burning, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
You feel yourself lose stature, and you fall to the ground. And you are in quite intense pain. And as you lie down, trying to struggle with the pain, you see Mugarod stand up, and he turns around. And in the light of the torches, you see his shadow cast upon the wall. But it's not his shadow. You see the form of a minotaur, the physical embodiment of Mogus. And you hear
And yet, even this is not the full truth. What made you desire strength? Why do you need it? Something happened, didn't it? Zug. What convinced you that strength was your ally?
and you begin to see flashes of memory.
Okay.
Your origins in the Floaty Rock tribe. I'm gonna let you, Zug, paint the stage for me. and answer 3 questions. First, what was your upbringing in the Floaty Rock tribe like? 2,
Okay.
what happened to the Floaty Rock tribe? And 3, what vow did you make after the disaster occurred?
Yeah, let me type this down. What was the second one? Oh, how they died?
The first one is, what was your upbringing in the Floaty Rock tribe? The second question was, what happened to the Floaty Rock tribe? And the third one is, what vow did you make in response to what happened?
Zug was pretty much the guy that had that lifted heavy weights.
Mm-hmm.
In his tribe, that was his role. The Floaty Rock tribe was brought to almost pure extinction because of an invasion of the Blood Red clan that wiped them out pretty much, and Zug is the only survivor. So that's the fate of a Floaty Rock tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And what vow I made to respect nature, because we are like path of the elemental fury,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time understand our role as like destroyers of nature and the beauty in being both, because his tribe is kind of this dichotomy between like, oh, elements and also death, auroras, moguls, and stuff.
Understood. And so, what about the Floaty Rock tribe getting wiped out? What about that event made you who you are today? And how do you feel about that memory?
The memory probably would be him waking up, realizing that him waking up / him realizing that he was the only one left. And what is the the other question? Sorry.
The other question is,
How
how did you feel about realizing you were the only one left, and how did you feel about those that had caused this to your tribe?
Oh, I had 2 things. I had survivor's guilt really heavily, so I was really, really sad. But actually, but in the other hand, I was extremely, extremely angry at the clan that did this to my people.
Mm-hmm. And so, as you are undergoing these flashes of memory, you end up hearing. You end up hearing.
Yes. Something happened to your tribe. Something told you, showed you the importance of strength. Not simply a thirst for vengeance, but as a source of power to overcome all adversity. That is true might. I have a task for you, Zug.
Yes, consider it done.
Your devotion is recognized over these past few months Strength is a means for vengeance, but it is also a means to overcome. This is the duality of the warrior. And so, your devotion is recognized. However, in order to receive my blessing, you must complete a task. You have proven your might, but a true warrior of Mogus is one of true focus and brutality. I require 3 offers, 3 sacrifices. 1 by way of true revenge. 1 by way of broken peace. And 1 by way of submission to me.
And as he speaks about these 3 sacrifices, you feel a sense of knowing channel into you as your blood begins to grow hot again. Not in a painful way, but in a way that says, yes, these are the things that I must do. And so, out of character, to explain what those 3 sacrifices mean, you have to commit 1 sacrifice by way of true revenge. Which means you can't simply kill an enemy. You have to make an actual blood oath of revenge, and you have to carry it out. And that blood oath of revenge has to be against a specific individual who wronged you, or wronged those near you significantly. You have to have witnessed the act, and you have to make a pledge then and there. And then you have to carry out that pledge. That's the first sacrifice. The second sacrifice is by way of broken peace, which means you have to favor violence over diplomacy. Not throughout your entire rest of your days, but you have to find a very specific moment where there is a choice between diplomacy and destruction. And between the 2 options, you have to deliberately set a course for destruction. It doesn't have to be any specific, well, it has to be a specific moment, but it doesn't have to be any one moment. You just have to identify the moment when it is a moment of diplomacy that you have a choice in, and that instead of peace, you choose war. So that's the second sacrifice. The third sacrifice is by submission to Mogus, which means you have to convert somebody to Mogus. The person has to willingly submit themselves to worshiping Mogus and to follow through on that promise. And you have pretty much any means you decide to do so, but you can imagine that a display of strength in the right context and in the right moment will be the path to committing to that sacrifice. So, I just want to make sure that you have all 3 of them. You will probably have to write them down. Otherwise, I can send you information on each of them, but it's 3 sacrifices. Once again, 1 by true revenge, 1 by broken peace, and 1 by submission to Mogus.
Yep.
Upon completing the 3, you will receive a blessing from Mogus, which will actually be some sort of mechanical boon to you as a character.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go so crazy.
Some final words.
Committing such offers to me requires choice. You must choose your moments carefully. But if you choose them carefully and make these offers to me, my blessing you shall receive.
And Mogus's voice begins to fade away as if echoing off into the distance. And the light that has enveloped the room dissipates. And you notice that Mugarod finds himself blinking awake. And he takes a deep breath in, and he lets out the breath. And he looks over to you and says, I sense Mogus had something important for you.
Oh, yeah.
It is rare for Mogus to provide tasks of importance. While I do not know what those tasks may be, it is up to you to, well, some advice from me. You may want to choose those in a way that is not going to complicate your next venture. Although I doubt there is much you can do to fulfill those that will not complicate something. I would take heed of your party's advice. That is all I know. And that is all I've taken in from Mogus.
Okay, Zeg got it. Zeg feeling very important.
Good. Well, I have a bit of grog here if you want to get a cold one on me before you leave.
Yeah.
When he goes over to an ice box. And that's the end of that scene. So, as we are about to leave that scene, we get to revisit a completely different scene. Because there is another individual in the party that has some business to take care of before each of you enter into the wild breach, as it were. And well, this isn't going to be the easiest thing to experience for those of you that have arrived here and are unfamiliar with what happened at the end of the last session.
Oh god, I'm so curious.
Allow me to clue you in.
I'm so curious.
Show him the sea.
This is gonna be amazing.
I will. Let's return directly back to that scene. Those individuals are not supposed to be invisible. They're supposed to be very visible. This scene, right here.
Sheesh.
Sheesh. So, to recap events at the end of the last session, Winveer had gone to gain the attention and the permission of Severo Tibalta in regards to entering beyond the perimeter that the Crown's Guard has set up surrounding the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters, and trying to justify himself and a party of his choosing entering into the Arcanist Inquisition, and being allowed through the, I guess you can say, the ring, the blockade, the quarantine of soldiers that are guarding around, again, the perimeter of the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters. As you had begun speaking to Severo Tibalta, Winveer, Severo had, to your recollection, to your insight, passively, that Severo was ponderous about your arguments, but he mentioned that nowadays it's not just him that you need to convince. And I had introduced into the fold characters that were prominent in the previous campaign of Tales of SEGLESIA. Characters of which, when you saw them, you had to roll a wisdom saving throw to keep your composure, because you know very well who these characters are. But you still felt a bit of a chill down your spine as you realized who they were. They were none other than... well, let me show you the images once again. 3 enforcers and 1 inquisitor. The first enforcer is Enforcer Venari. Someone who is known for their backstabbing cruelty. Somebody who is an agile and effective assassin. The second individual is Enforcer Blackfoot, a master tracker and marksman. The third individual was Enforcer Sigorn, a massive Goliath who is known for the savagery that they employ with their fists. And then the fourth and final individual is a Inquisitor of the House of Inquiry, specifically the one that is most known and most feared as essentially the torture master of the dungeons of the House of Inquiry. Someone who is a top-tier investigator. Someone who is extremely adept at getting to the bottom of the truth by any means necessary. Most of those means within bounds of terrible cruelty. And that would be Superior Malum. And as Superior Malum steps forward, his even in his green cloak, his body is misshaped in small ways. But he strives to stand tall, limping forward with a cane in his hand and a mask upon his face, concealing the terrible deformities and rots behind it. From what you can recall from the stories, something having to do with a curse that he had contracted long ago. And as he and the enforcers step forward, he tilts his head slightly and he says, "Master Severo, I have finished preparations in the Judicator's Hall, and I seem to have stumbled upon a very specific conversation that you're having with one of your operatives, as it were. It is Pendragon, is it not?"
Yes, it is, Superior Malum.
No doubt the same Pendragon that has been feeding the Master of Secrets information on, well, let's just say, on particular... hold on, I gotta retcon. You are the same Pendragon that has been providing certain intel in your quest to seek new allegiances for the loyalists here in the city, no doubt.
Yes, it is, Superior.
And Severo is going to step forward, and he's going to say, "Superior Malum, Pendragon here seems to be quite in the position that he believes that he himself and a group of his choosing should be allowed to enter into the perimeter of the Arcanist Inquisition's headquarters. I personally believe that such an act is something that should be handled by the Crown's Guard themselves. And I, to a certain degree, fail to see, as he looks over to you, what sort of good would come from a operative and a bunch of mercenaries, as it were, to enter in when some of our own elite have been succumbed to what's inside. But it seems Pendragon makes some interesting points on its necessity." "Oh, is that the case?" And Malum is going to step forward, and he's going to move forward, and he's going to start looking you up and down. And
I'm stoically just standing there,
Yep.
arms behind my double posture, if you will.
And Malum is going to step forward, and he's going to move forward, and he's going to start looking you up and down. And he's going to...
I'm stoically just standing there, arms behind my double posture, if you will.
Yep.
Hmm.
Pendragon, Pendragon, Pendragon. So, how long have you been in the employ of Severo Tibalta?
Only for a short while, but I've hopefully been able to actually get myself into that of a higher position.
Oh, and what, pray tell, is the higher position that you are actually aiming for?
To be truly honest, to be his loyal advisor, one of he can be truly trusted with, and one to be able to provide utmost service to not only the House of Inquiry, but also to that of the Crown itself.
Severo and Malum exchange a little bit of a look, and Severo has a little bit of a smirk on his face, and Malum says, "Well, I didn't realize I was doing such an inadequate job, Pendragon."
You're not doing an adequate job, sir. In fact, your job is that of very utmost importance. I have seen what comes with your work, and your work is very dutiful.
Dutiful. Yes. Dutiful is an understatement, Pendragon. It takes a certain level of constitution for me to do what I do. And it requires a level of devotion that does not simply come at a whim of wanting to serve House Tibalta. So, how exactly do you believe that you have any business beyond the barrier?
Well, for one, it is the information that I have gathered.
Before
Well,
before you go into discussion about information you have gathered, let me properly set the tone for you of how this is going to go. As you are well aware, if I am called upon for any reason, or happen to be in the right place at the right time, as it seems like I am in this current context, if we are to have a discussion on this, word of advice, be very careful with what words you use. It is my job to get to the bottom of the truth, as it were, and I, in my especially busy schedule, only have so much patience to provide. So, if you feel that your desire to enter beyond the threshold of the barrier is apt enough, you will have to provide me with ample information. And this is where I get to stop you at this precise moment, Winveer, as I am going to invoke some new mechanics.
Be me.
These are mechanics I've not run in this campaign as of yet, and they are, you should feel good, because they are mechanics that I have created very specifically for this particular conversation. It also answers a big question in my mind. That question is, how best to run a circumstance where it has less to do with physical combat, but more to do with social combat. And so, here's how this is going to work. You are essentially engaging in a one-on-one. One-on-one. Maybe that's a little preemptive for me to say that it's a one-on-one.
1-on-2. I like those odds.
but you are engaging in a social skill challenge or social combat where you and your opponent. Objection! Yeah, exactly. You and your opponent have a certain amount of resolve. Each of you will get a turn. On each turn, you can do the following. You can, A, do a social attack. A social attack would basically be any sort of charisma skill check. It could also be any skill like insight, perception, or investigation. And it could be a knowledge skill. Obviously, any physical skill won't count. So athletics, acrobatics, stealth, and sleight of hand are out of the question. However, so that's one option. The second option you have is what is known as make compromise. Now, make compromise is something that you don't want to do until you are absolutely sure you can do it. And if you want to do it at all. How that works is, as both of you are making these social checks against each other, each of your resolve will go down. You don't know necessarily, at least from the start, you don't know how much resolve your opponent has. But you, based upon your proficiency and your modifiers with certain social and mental skill checks, your resolve will start at 10.
All right.
And making compromise is something that you can do if you sense that you have reduced your opponent's resolve to less than half. That is something that you can do if you sense that that is the case. However, if you do it and they are more than half, you will actually lose resolve. Because it will be basically you making a misstep in the debate between you and this individual. The rules for engaging each round is this. You can only do one skill check per round. And they can only do one skill check per round. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's a charisma. Doesn't matter if it's a knowledge check. Doesn't matter if it's an insight check. But only social attacks can actually deal damage to your opponent. So, clear as mud?
Clear as mud.
All right. And each time you make one of these checks, there's going to be a few things to look out for. First, every individual that you ever do this sort of conversation with, they will have desires and fears, such as you will also have desires and fears. If you manage to gain a critical success, then I get to reveal one of those to you. However, if you deal critical failure, or if they deal a critical failure, they give one away to you. Same thing for you, though. If you get a critical failure, or they get a critical success, then they know your desires and fears. They know of them, one or the other. And if you decide to, or you manage to stumble upon one or the other, you actually get to roll at advantage whenever you utilize them. And finally, the DC for accomplishing your roll will depend upon, well, it will depend upon the It will depend upon the conversation you're having.
Mhm.
If you make a salient enough point, then that means a lower DC. Otherwise, if you're trying to overcome a salient point, that's a higher DC, or vice versa when they're doing their rolls as well. Is that enough to proceed forward?
Let's fucking go.
All right.
Winfrey is in his element.
So, what you notice is Severo steps away. Enforcer Sigorn steps over here. Venari steps over here. And Superior Malum begins to straighten himself and puts his cane down in front of him. And he looks at you very quietly. And he doesn't say anything at first. But in his eyes, you can definitely tell that he... Well, I guess we'll find out. What you do hear from him is, "So, Pendragon, I'm all ears, despite appearances. As a noble of the city, why concern yourself with these matters?"
It is because I am a noble of the city. It's my job to make sure that every subject into the city is well taken care of in security, safety, and in happiness.
All right, roll, I guess that's a persuasion check.
Oh no, this is deception. I'm lying through my teeth.
Or you're lying through your teeth. All right.
Yeah. Shit.
16? I mean, it's good. It's good for your first bout. So, that will be one less resolve from him. So that's a success on your deception. In response, he says, My. How egalitarian of you, Pendragon. A half-elf born into nobility, someone has gained a sudden heart for the lower classes. I suppose you feel compelled to wax on about the fate of the people. You can cease the Good Samaritan Act, if you please, but, you may very well be convinced of your own charge. That is interesting, to say the least. So, as such, I would like to ask you, therefore, why is it that the people below you matter in such a degree? I sincerely believe that in this particular case, that may not be relevant to your entry. You're going to have to provide me more information. And if I shoot, one sec here. If I should be so astute, I don't think you're getting straight to the point. As I mentioned to you before, that I am someone who is very busy. And so, please, if you think that there is some sort of purpose for you being on the other side, state clearly. I don't want to hear any more waxing on about the people in this city. And they're going to just roll a intimidation check. Well, they're going to fail.
Get fucked.
Get fucked!
All right.
Here, motherfucker!
So,
Oh my god.
So I say, based upon that context, they're going to lose a couple. I mean, that's a lucky roll for you.
Hand me that fear. Come on.
So do you want desire or fear?
What do you think I'm saying? I want to make sure this next time I see him, I can make him worm.
All right. Roll.
Make me a bit. Come on, I believe
Roll a
in you.
d6.
Perfect. Oh, whoopsie, that's 2d6. Sometimes.
2. You get the sense his eyes shift over to Severo, as he says that. And basically he is, he's speaking truthful on the side that he is a very busy person and that he has quite a number of people to perform inquisition on. And, you know, for effect, I should mention that, of course, he looks down at one moment at a blood spot on his robe and begins scratching at it. But as he is presenting this to you, he kind of shifts his eyes over to Severo, and you get the sense that Severo is also somebody who's very impatient, is very busy, and he wants this to get resolved, this conversation to get resolved quickly. And so the fear that you've obtained is that he doesn't want to lose his boss's patience.
Got it. All right. So I see that. I look at him and go, all right, I'll get to the point, considering I don't want to waste Lord Severitabalta's time as well. I'm merely asking to get access because I know of utmost importance is as soon as that barrier is removed, the easier it is to find out the problems that are caused because of the barrier. That's why I want access.
All right. I believe that's a persuasion check. One thing I should mention, I forgot to say this as a rule. You can't use the same check twice in a row. So if you use deception, you can't use deception again.
Got it.
So
thank you. All right.
You can later, but you can't do it one right after another.
Got it. All right. Oh my god. I am rolling so bad.
Well, roll with advantage because you've taken advantage of that particular fear.
Okay. Thank you.
21. Excellent. By the DC in particular, that was a success of more than 5. So you actually deal 2 damage of resolve to him.
Yes.
And so in this particular moment, he sort of shifts over and he's like, yes, Experience, I understand the argument. We're all very busy people nowadays, especially in the current climate of instability. Civil strife, war, invasions, all sorts of unrest that have affected this part of the world in many ways. You must understand that it is my position to ensure that there is not a breakdown in the social fabric, and fear is what guides that. You should understand, however, that the infestation, as I understand that this is the topic that we are referring to, and that is to say, as the Vera coins the term so confidently, this is merely a symptom of this disagreement between nobles. Some monstrosity trying to make its way to the surface is of no matter to the greater fabric of power here, Windveer. And so, this is not important enough for you to be providing such efforts to. He's going to roll a persuasion check on that. Oh, well, hold on.
Oh. Womp womp.
That is an 18. That is going to hit the DC, so that will deal 1 resolve damage to you.
Alright.
Alright, your turn.
Alright, well, quick question. Do I have to wait like 1 turn or 2 turns to use a different skill?
Just 1 turn. So you can go back
Perfect.
to Deception if you want. But
Alright.
also remember, you do have the other skills. You do have Insight. You do have Knowledge, Nature, Arcana, History for stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to look him straight in the eyes again and just go. That is why I'm volunteering myself. So therefore, you can deal with that of the macro, while I'll deal with that of the micro. Things like this will be able to cause too much problems, especially with the intel that I got, the intel I got for the monarchist. Now, so that's why I was volunteering, to make sure we're able to deal with the micro before it becomes a macro.
All right. You are rolling. What kind of roll?
Deception.
Is that deception though? Are you deceiving?
You, I am deceiving because I said it was information of the monarchist, the new monarchist.
Information from new monarch. Is that where you say your source is coming from?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and roll then.
God,
Let's
what is
just
with
look.
my rolls?
I'm gonna give him inspiration.
All right. You're getting inspiration. So go. I mean, Zug isn't there, but you feel inspiration. No, you can give him inspiration. That's fine.
Oh, can I? Okay, it's a D4.
All right. Yes, 18.
All right. You just hit the DC.
Yo, let's go.
He sort of narrows his eyes at you and he says, "New monarchy. So that is your source. But how precisely did you gain that information? Did you discover it through interrogation of somebody in the New Monarchy faction? Or perhaps some sort of double agency? If that is the case, I'm curious, what information you might be sharing? What information close to the crown you might be sharing? If it at all matters, I would like to get access to your source, and I would like to get access to it soon. I'm trying to remember, what was the last roll I did? Was it persuasion?
Yeah.
All right. That is actually going to be an insight check.
Shit.
So they're going to roll insight. One sec here. They're gonna fail at it. So no.
Let's go.
No downing of resolve, but they are not able to pick. They're not able to gain anything from watching your body language or anything like that, or suspect guilt. So you can go ahead with your turn.
All right. So, looking at him, he goes, "Well, when it came with that informant, just that he wasn't willing. You learn is that sometimes the stick comes before the carrot. As I'm sure you learned yourself, and I'm sure that I presume that you taught both Dante and Bruno about. For I've learned that art as well. little shitting grin.
Hold on a moment. Did you just insult? Explain to me
No,
what
I have
you just
not.
did.
Oh no, I explained that I have learned. Explaining from them is that most likely they have learned. Dante and Bruno most likely learned from him in order to be able to be torturers, and I have learned from them. I learned from them, which is ultimately what I'm saying is that I basically kind of tortured him to death.
Oh. Okay. So go. What role are you making for that purpose?
That's gonna be more of an intimidation.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll intimidation.
This is probably not my best roll, but let's see. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Jesus Christ.
Malum does not. Malum doesn't scare, but you notice that his eye twitches a little bit. As that he's sort of recognizing that you are sort of, he's recognizing very well that you are basically just so I understand what you actually said. Are you making a promise, or are you basically making a threat? Like, what is it? Like, can you explain it to me?
It was more of for me just going is that whatever you know when you're tortured, I know as well. Sort of a little bit of a cheeky promise, if you will.
Okay. Well, that would have been a really high DC, but you just hit over the DC. So,
Yes.
so good for you. Let's see. So which response should I go with here? My, Pendragon. It seems you are aiming to make me blush. But you'll have to do better than that. You see, I've been in this business for many a year. And when it comes to carrots and sticks, let's just say I'm well versed in the way of the stick. And he is going to lightly tap his cane on the ground. And you are going to actually start seeing his enforcers start sort of drifting, sort of encircling.
I figured. Still
And-
keeping a calm composure.
I don't like this.
And he is basically going to say,
He's stalked by
Now.
hyenas.
Now it seems that you are speaking my language, and I have no doubt that if you were to put your mind and resources to something, that you may be effective at it, Pendragon. But I really, truly do need to know something.
Is that
You've taken a
Good.
few walking brains and assumed that they're somehow responsible for the Arcanist Inquisition's troubles. There must be a substantial amount of information to justify such a thing. It is not simply something that someone wakes up and decides to do. Let me remind you that if I ever find out that you are somehow entangled with a competitor, anyone, whether it be New Monarchy, or it be the Vanguard, or it be some sort of neutral faction like the Sentinels, do please keep in mind that I can call anyone at any time into a session, a very private session. And in that session, when you sit in my chair across from me, remember that innocence is no excuse. And you hear behind you, no excuse. And then to the side of you, no excuse. And then to the other side of you, none whatsoever. And he is having himself and his enforcers basically gang up on you in an advantaged intimidation.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's not a good place to be.
That's gonna be a 21. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be more than 5. That's gonna hit your resolve for 2.
All right.
But it's your turn to do whatever you feel like doing in this particular situation. You realize you're surrounded. And they're all giving you the mean mug.
You got this.
When it comes to the walking brains, I do have somebody to talk to. He's not bright, but he knows how to hunt them. He knows about what they do. That I can give you the information for. This, however, is a little too, I guess you can say, demanding. But anyhow, I have the information that comes with that. Not only that, you're trying to say that I would work with those bellicosic marauders and those quixotic children, thinking I have some motive with that. That's a little bit more insulting. But I can see your point there. However, I raise up to another point as well. Well, when it comes to the information, I didn't say is the brains that cause the problem. I say the brains are a symptom of the problem. And then in order for us to actually understand that before it becomes an actual it becomes more macro than before, as I stated, we cannot just have anybody in the Crown's Guard to do it, because you need them on the front. I am volunteering myself in my group. My group, such as yourselves, are very skilled. I'll be a little more dim-witted. So I'm saying is that if you want, is that I can give you the information of the slight more dim-witted man that actually knows about the brains. If that would ease your mind.
Okay, and what role are you using?
Deception, because I basically assaulted my own group.
No, we don't take it personally.
But also deception because the person that knows about the brains, the dim-witted person, give you very, very little information about it. But
he knows how to hunt them.
Right.
He's the one with the most information.
Right. I would say deception. Go ahead and deceive.
Did I get an advantage?
Why would you get an advantage?
I know, I just wanted the advantage. Oh well, here we go. Boom!
23. Let's see.
Ooh.
Rolling very good.
I'm losing days off my life. My hair's gonna start going grey.
So, in which case, let's see here. Malum is going to remain quiet as he sort of looks you up and down. At this point, you feel Sigorn's meaty hand upon your shoulder. there in your bubble. And Malum is basically just going to do an insight check. And so at this point, with that insight check, all right, so here's what he's going to say. Get ready for this. Malum nods lightly, and he's like, "You make a convincing case, Pendragon." Well, a stout combatant you are in the art of social arrangement. No doubt. I used to find myself in the ranks of the Crown's Guard back when, before this malady has stricken me. Before this malady had stricken me. And at that time, I had been a lieutenant for the Guard. Similar noble birth as you, as it happens. However, as you can imagine, such prospects fall to the wayside once you are stricken with the sort of terrible deformities as I have suffered. And so, forced to become what you see here. But no doubt, you are, again, quite a combatant. If you are as good with a sword as you are with your tongue, then on the battlefield of valor, no doubt, you might find yourself to be quite a victor. What kind of roll is this exactly? It's a bit of a persuasion roll. Uh, 17 is just going to deal 1 resolve to you. You are presently at 4 resolve.
I'm at 6.
Nope. A couple of those were 2.
Shit.
But that's
Fuck.
But the thing is that you've been dealing more damage to his resolve than you've been dealt. So, you can do what you want with this particular moment. Now, reminder is that if the idea is if somebody's resolve hits 0, then it's over. There's a winner and there's a loser. The other option, remember, is to make compromise. And make compromise is only effective if you've detected that you've reduced somebody's resolve to less than half.
Alright. Can I do an insight check mechanically to see if I've hit that threshold, but more of an insight to see if he's actually truthful, in a sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, this is more mechanical to see if I can reach the compromise, character-wise, to see if he's still being truthful about him being Crown's Guard. 24.
Yeah, you're rolling really well tonight. So, in short, you've determined that you have tested Severo's patience for as long as possible. Malum knows this. And that Malum is also ready to be done with this. Malum's resolve is, in fact, less than half. However, with the 24, one thing that you are going to determine from that is you actually do, because of how well you rolled there, choose desire or fear, because I'll give you something in addition to that.
I'm gonna do desire.
Okay. Roll a d6.
Five.
You get the sense like, okay, so why exactly is he spending this much effort to vet you? That's what this feels like. This feels like you're not just being questioned or interrogated. It feels like you're being vetted for something. And it slowly occurs to you that Malum, by extension Severo, but Malum is in a position where he too very much wants to know what the hell is going on inside of the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters. And you stepping in and presenting yourself all, with all bravado, is an intriguing opportunity to him. And that he is entertaining the thought that he should simply give you the pass for that, simply based upon the fact that you might be able to provide him critical information on the matters of why the cataclysm happened, why the barrier is up, what is going on inside, and what Dace might know. You don't get the sense that Malum is unknowing of a lot of things, but you definitely get the sense that there are puzzle pieces that have not been fit, and he needs those pieces fit. Final thing you grab in that insight check. You couldn't help, actually, weird. You couldn't help but feel a little nervous about the last thing he said. Do you remember the last thing he said?
That was... My tongue was as good on the battlefield, if I remember correctly.
Right. That if your sword was as good as your tongue on the battlefield, that you would clearly find yourself something.
In his predicament, if I remember correctly?
I believe the word was victor.
Oh, this motherfucker. Alright. So... go to him with a... little bit of a chuckle. Yes, well... I feel like the parlay has been gone on long enough. How about this? I'm willing to give you a compromise.
I am all ears, as I said.
Yes. It's just more as I go in there and I pick up some of the journals from Dace's office itself. It should have enough information about any of the occult activities he was doing during that time that allows you to get more of an information on what goes on. With it, you let me and my group go into safe passage, and who knows? It's a win-win situation for you. You have to lose.
All right. And so, making compromise is not a roll. You either succeed or you fail based upon where their resolve is. You know that their resolve is below than half, and so you succeed at making compromise, and that is your compromise. So, Malum, he looks at you, and you don't see a smile behind his mask, but you see a smile in his eyes as you say that. And he says, yes. I believe I am quite right, Pendragon. Quite right, in fact. As a matter of fact, if you were fighting in the wars, same as I have a distinct sense that you and I would have gotten along quite well. No doubt, if we found ourselves surrounded by the enemy, beset on all sides like we do now, it would be to our blessing that we be standing on the Sam Hill.
Great.
Very well, Pendragon. Go ahead. Gather your force, and I will advise the Crown's Guard to make way for your approach. And as he says that, he's going to look over to Severo, nod, and he's going to start walking back the other way with his enforcers. And Superior Malum is, as he's walking away, I mean, you could say what you want, but as he's walking away, he is going to chuckle a little bit. And you hear him as it just reverberates on the Sam Hill. On the Sam Hill.
Well,
for those of you who are completely out of the loop, Victor and Sam Hill were the alter egos that Winveer has been using this entire time to avoid Severo from knowing too much about his ongoings outside of his business directly with House Tibalta.
Ah. Oh, shit.
well, I guess say to the victors goes the spoils. As I walk over back to Lord Severo, like, I'm very sorry for the intrusion that I caused today, though I will say you probably had a little bit of an entertainment, did you not?
He bobs his head left and right. He's like, well, you didn't bore me, Pendragon. Next time, make it snappier. There's a lot of things happening here in the Halls of Inquiry. Now, you have your permit. Go ahead. You will have no resistance from those at the perimeter.
Thank you, my lord. I'll make it with make haste. As I'm now walking away, still stoic, because I basically see everybody walking through. As I'm trying to perfectly just trying to make sure I'm still the goodest boy when it comes with the House of Inquiry and Nobility. Yeah, God.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
A lot of fucking people.
And then it's just more of just walk out. It's more for the fact of afterwards I'm gonna walk over to the corner that I know that is when it's outside that nobody's there. And just basically just go holy okay. All right.
Just gotta take a moment. Oof.
Oh, panic attack.
Oof. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, that makes for that scene, my friends.
I have great hair now.
Victory, motherfucker!
I'm literally Valvari. I've just got white hair now. Jesus Christ.
All right. So we're going back to the map here, and you will quickly notice that the map has not changed. No, it hasn't changed at all. No, nothing's fishy about the map. Don't worry about it.
I see the fire.
Don't worry about it? Oh, that's...
I see the fire.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing that you need to worry about at this exact moment in time. So, as you all are going to gather together before heading back out here, let me get Zug in there. Let me get Bala in there. Whoa. Oop. Thank you for your patience, other players. And Winveer, you have come back to just outside the Roxy and Company building as everybody gets back around the same time. At your appointed scheduled meeting. And what is it that you say to your fellow players as you approach?
I look back, I see Bala, and he goes, "Ah, I see you. Welcome back. I didn't think I scared you off that easily." I see you there.
Oh.
No. All right, but it's after that,
Good.
everybody goes, "Good news. We have full access to gain into the Arcane Inquisition's tower without getting harassed by that of the Crown's Guard. So,
Brilliant. Can I insight check to see if I can see if he's rattled or if it's no, he seems pretty confident.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight.
yeah.
And hey, Winveer, you could roll a deception.
Oh, no, I'm not rolling deception on this one.
All right, all
the
right.
game's still paused to me, apparently.
Is it?
Apparently so.
Did it unpause?
I don't,
No.
All
I
right,
don't see you
might
in
need to...
the players.
Oh, you'll probably need to reload then. Something happened. Yup. Happens sometimes.
Yep. Luckily, I had my thesaurus.
Oh my god. Fancy words are available at the grip of your hand.
I was gonna say, wasn't it better to have the Lacoste Marauders? Psychotic children.
What to take? I'm just gonna. Can I roll it on D&D Beyond?
Is this just not working for you?
In my computer. Oh wait, you know when you say complain about it and then suddenly it loads? That.
Oh,
I get it.
Now it's working.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, insight. Insight. Okay.
I'm stoic as a motherfucker.
Damn. Okay.
But it's looks at everybody and goes, "Well, you should grab as much supplies as we need, as we are heading off tomorrow."
Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't mind, I need to see if my new weapon is ready. And I would say one more thing, mostly to you, Val. I would most likely say is say put on a little bit more contour.
Hmm?
I want them to see your true beauty, now don't you?
Just from a glare, can I roll intimidation? Because it's one of those things where it's smile more, and it's
No, it's rolling in.
Yeah, that is. Okay.
if looks could kill, why not?
I was hoping for more of an insight than intimidation.
Well, I mean, I feel like maybe you should have chose better words than that.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, intimidation check.
These were well, it's more dog
With
shit.
advantage, because
Damn it, that's a 13. It's average. You just can tell she's pissed off, basically.
He just kind of
Would you
slaps.
care to that?
You've been with the organization long enough. You should know meaning between the words.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you insight. While I work for the Vanguard, their standards are not my standards.
Still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they know that you have connections to there. They'll have your head on a pike. It's with mine. So, try to be less noticeable. Everybody else, though, it's already hard enough, and luckily for us, they most likely don't remember a lot of things, so.
All right. What would you recommend? She stiffens out, like, straightens up to her full height.
More normal apparel. Nice tunic, possibly some nice garms. The boots would work well, but I digress.
Wait, so you're telling us to sacrifice people who don't dress well? Is that it? Putting their heads on pikes?
No.
Yeah, let's do it.
What?
I'm
Zug,
so
do we even
down.
have pikes?
It's just look at Winveer and just been like, okay, you know what? This is glad this helped me because they realized that the tribals, this works, this will work. It'll be fine. It's all good. If you don't mind, I'm grabbing my things. See me run about.
But I just kind of looks out like Chloe's like tucks and going, I like this shit. I mean, self-consciously like, God damn it, what?
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we're gonna move on. So let's see. We have Winveer, Val, Zug, Orgoth, and Bala. And my question for you: so you're gonna be able to get your 8 hours of long rest. There are a couple things to super quick clear up. Winveer's gonna get their +1 rapier. That's gonna be finished, so you're gonna be able to pick that up. And the rest of Zug's time has been spent training. The rest of Orgoth's time has been spent likely with your with Draco Robshaw, Child Wonder.
Yep.
Bala, you've sort of arrived after leaving that one just very complicated scene of battle partway through. You probably have had a bit of a change of mind and think to yourself that there's definitely some prospects with this group, and they're about to enter into a place where they might need the help of somebody such as yourself. So what are your thoughts and actions? How would you wish to prepare to go into a place where you might not be able to come back out, where the prospect of normal rest might be a difficult prospect? What sort of things do you imagine you would pick up? What sort of things do you imagine you would do?
So one major thing would be that he would see if there was anything that they needed potentially stowed away before he took his long rest, because he could sequester things inside of his lamp if need be, and then retrieve them once we were inside if it came to it.
Gotcha. I'm sorry, I was looking at a couple of things. So what things in particular? Just review that with me.
I don't know. He was just going to ask if there was anything.
Okay.
'Cause he wasn't there for the whole conversation about finding a bag of holding. So
There is a bag of holding now.
It's on Val's Hip.
Okay.
And so, unless there's anything in particular that you want to ask your party, to see if there's anything that they need, I would presume that you probably arrived right at the end of their work for the day to prepare.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Got it. So, you spend the 8 hours resting, knowing that you are about to enter into a place that will test yourself in ways that are more than just physical and more than just simply mental. You are about to enter into a space that is likely to be at the core of the weirder things that have been happening in the city. You don't imagine that such a position will be easy. However, your sleep is undisturbed. You understand what your mission is. It is to venture into the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters building. And so, as each of you wake up and do your final preparations, is there anything that you say or anything that you do before you head to your shimmering prison, as it were?
Val will change into all like black garb. Very similar outfit, but more like all black. More obscure. Something with a hood. Though it's kind of like hidden kind of hood, so see if it's kind of like can put it where she needs to.
Mm-hmm.
She will go over to Winnever, not Winnever, Winnever, and ask, like, seriously, how'd it go?
In the fact that I was able to get us access went surprisingly well. I will say, though, is that...
And the cost?
Cost? I just have to pick up a few books for them. That's what it is, and also for the fact that I now have... I have the superior Malbus breathing down my neck. Been doing that the entire time. I'm getting sloppy.
Well, they're getting smarter.
Yeah.
Hey, Val, roll a knowledge check.
What check?
Knowledge check.
Ooh.
Knowledge history.
Oh, I'm shy at history. Here we go. Yeah, that is 8.
You don't know who this Malum person is.
Like the last few rolls. Jesus.
Yeah. So you sort of, you don't know who this Malum person is. You figure that, Winveer was able to get done what he needed to get done, and you are now in the clear.
Yeah, like, I'm not from around here. It's like, right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just
So, I'll explain shortly to you what he is. He is the worst thing you can possibly see, because he makes Bruno and Dante Tabalta look like the philanthropist.
at times.
Once again, you probably don't know. All right. You're forgetting. He's bad news. Very bad news. If you get caught by him, you better make sure to put a bullet in your brain before he gets you.
Good to know. What does he What does he focus on?
Torture.
What does he specialize in?
Like I said, torture. He's the superior for the House of Inquiry. He is in charge of getting information from everybody. And his favorite use is, of course, torture. That's why I said, you better put a bullet in yourself before he gets you.
Right. Good name to keep tabs on then.
I'll give you more information later, as I have to give it to them. But anywho, let's make haste.
Before we get in there,
Yes.
What would the Vanguard want with Dace?
Truth be told, nothing.
And if I was to say you were wrong?
Want him dead?
Don't think they're the only ones who want him dead. More than that, I want to know why.
That's what we need to figure out.
Do you know if he's been in contact with anything?
Personally, no. I've not known he comes in contact with
Not-
anything.
Not people.
Like I said, actually, can I roll an Arcana check to know, Matt, or history?
So you wanna know if Dace has been in contact with anything non-human?
Like a rumor.
Yeah, there are no rumors to that effect. You don't even
Okay.
need to roll.
Okay, so it's nothing. Wouldn't be surprised though, but still, I have nothing. But learn from himself, either from himself, his corpse, or most likely the abomination that is sprouted from his corpse.
All right. As for the rest of you, Zug, Orgoth, Bala, anything that you say or do before heading to the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters?
Orgoth will just go shouting, "Heads on pikes! Heads on pikes!" Woo!
You get yourself pumped up for
Simple
the
man.
battles to come.
Zug's just right behind him.
Sacrifice! Sacrifice!
I have told you, do not say that out loud!
I want Boy Wanda to be behind him saying the same thing.
Bala just buries his hand in his head and says, "You all better be worth it."
Oh, that reminded me. Here, as Guinevere throws a pouch to you,
What's this?
100 gold.
His eyes get real big for a second. For
Well, like you said it yourself. Hope we're worth it.
Anything you want the bag of holding, put it in there now.
Do we see him give the gold out? Do we all see it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
He doesn't
Orgoth will
conceal
put
it.
his hand on his forehead and go, "Oh shit, I think he's dying. He just gave out gold. He's sick. About to die. Zog,
Yeah,
let's get a doctor."
I've never seen this before. I'm scared, honestly.
Seen it before. I've done this on numerous occasions. Remember?
Never selflessly.
Is this someone disguised as him?
I take it like a compliment
yeah.
that we get a doctor and not just sacrifice you out of mercy.
I should.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what?
progress.
Throw a dagger at him.
Maybe I should. Wait, I'm just gonna pinch him to be sure.
Yeah.
And Orgoth
Stab him
pinches
real quick.
I spoke too soon.
Zog. Pinch the other side. Pinch it hard. Make sure it's him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's still me. What's next? That's next. You can have Scoop come out of nowhere. Decide to do is to kick me in the testicles. Knowing him, he probably would do that. Please don't
Wait,
give me
that's a
information.
good plan. Zog, kick him.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And I'm just sprinting.
Run.
I'm gonna
Alright.
get you. I'm
So-
gonna kick your balls.
So you end up running away from Zug, but in the direction of your destination.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And of course, Draco is carrying the brew and is going to be leading behind Orgoth.
Val will put their like massive rifle into the bag of holding.
All right. As you head out, I want everybody to roll a perception check.
Come on, for once. Oh my god.
All right.
Think of it.
As you are moving through the city, you hear, you do hear loud blasts in the distance from the northeast of you. As it does occur to you that there is a pretty heated battle between each of the factions happening, not too far away from, well, not too far away from the ward you are leaving. You feel in the back of your mind a sense of uneasiness, perhaps a sense of that hopefully you're leaving this building as you lock up and ensure that everything is secure. You're hoping that that does not begin bleeding its way into Midtown, which is where Roxy and Company's building is located. In any case, this sort of eruption in fighting is something that is entirely disconcerting to you. And it is making it feel that the strife that is happening in the city is palpable, that it is real. And while it feels like you are headed on a mission into some place, that you are going to be gone for a while, in the back of your minds, you are a little worried about once you leave, once you come back from the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters, however long that might be, you're nervous to see what state the city will be in when you return. But with that said, you end up heading in the direction. Oh, Scoop's there. Scoop is there in spirit. You all head towards the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters building. There are a couple of checkpoints that you have to pass to get there. There is a Crown's Guard barrier at the other side of the ramp into the Great Lion's Ascent, which is the Royal Quarter. That is where this is located. Winveer, as you are stepping forward, you can see the House of Inquiry within clear line of sight, and you can't help but gaze at its architecture, which is both grand and in ways that you know. It's terrifying. But then you set your eyes upon the headquarters themselves. While there is this powerful barrier that covers it, most of what you see seems to be a mirage. Most of what you imagine is on the other side is obscured. You, in fact, cannot actually determine, simply standing on this side, what sort of evidence of destruction there is aside from the blob of mass where you would expect there to be a central tower at the top has been blown away, and you think you see a swirling shadow in its place. Regardless, you approach the perimeter And a number of Crown's Guard individuals reach to where you are approaching. And one of them on a horse rides over and says, "Halt! None are allowed beyond the perimeter. State your business."
I essentially pull out the permit that I got from Servio probably earlier this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Going, I have business to investigate in order to be able to find the end to the barrier here. These are my associates. They're written within the permit as well. We are so unless you want to keep that barrier up for many more months, possibly years, I proceed you should let us through. I'm handing him in paper now.
Yep. He takes the permit, takes a look, and while he's wearing a helmet, you see his demeanor changes as soon as he reads through and he gets to the bottom of it, realizing that there is a seal of House Tibalta, and it's not just any seal, it is Severo's personal seal. And he brings his horse around and he looks at the actual obstacle barrier that they have built around it, which is comprised of multiple walls and multiple large spikes carved out of lumber, and a number of different contraptions, as if they were preparing for a siege from whatever would be potentially within it. And he yells out, and one of the other Crown's Guard individuals gives commands to his lessers, and they end up pulling aside a bunch of the obstacles to make way for you to enter. And between that perimeter and the edge of the barrier is about 100 feet. And so as you move forward towards the barrier, you can each feel almost a static sensation rising the hairs on your body. As you get closer, the barrier seems to have small arcs of electricity shoot through it. Things that would have not been visible from further away are more clear. And the glow of the barrier at one point is almost too bright to stare directly at it. But you have reached 15 feet away. What do you do?
I gave everybody the rings. To put it on. Just look at every single one of them. It's all right. Getting back.
Just to confirm, the rest of the rings of everything is in the bag of holding. Just to make sure they're safe.
I put them in the bag of holding as well.
Yep.
We have.
Clarify with me how much of the crystal matter did you put in the bag of holding?
So we had 2 sets of each. We have one ring to get in, one piece to get out.
Right. Got it. Excellent. So you believe that the bag of holding will subvert the consumption.
Why did I put it in there?
Will subvert the consumption of the crystal as you pass through. Got it.
That's the prayer.
All right. So each of you are handed your trinket. So what does each of you say, and what does each of you do?
What is this?
A key to get in.
Oh,
Are you sure it's not just gonna rip a hole in the fabric of space and reality?
No, these have been tested before by that of the Crown's Guard. So we should be fine there.
Good quality.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go!
yeah, let's go.
You always excited to die?
Those two are ready for battle no matter what happens. Alright. Come, Bala. Say, don't worry though, Bala. I'm pretty sure they won't mind if you're able to find some things that might help with charity.
This gold you gave me will go a long way.
Ah, but that's only just the surface of it. I'm not gonna just make sure as hide any of your souvenirs when it comes to this excursion.
I have the best hiding spot.
Perfect. I think all of us are walking in.
All right. If that is the case, then I would like each of you, as you step through, to make a Constitution saving throw.
I knew that was coming.
It's gonna fuck me over. Let's see.
Nothing is free.
Oh!
15.
Oh, yes! Okay, good.
Saving throw, right?
Saving throw.
Yeah.
Come on, for once, don't fuck me.
I rolled a nat 20 and a nat 1. Luckily, the nat 20 came first.
Okay.
Did everybody get above 15?
That's the best one I've rolled
We got-
today.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it's
All of
fine.
you feel queasy, like intense vertigo as you step through. Your entire concept of gravity, where gravity is, your entire concept of where you are, of the air you're breathing, of the staticky sensations that course through your body as you step through the barrier, it tests your insides. It tests the entirety of your constitution. However, each of you are able to step through the other side without keeling over from the shock to your system. And
I hate magic.
And as you step through and you look up, you see in a much more clear fashion where it is you are. The entire place within the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters is shrouded in a haze of some sort of color. You can't necessarily put a descriptor to. It's not necessarily blue. It's not necessarily pink. It's not necessarily blue. It almost as if it seems to sort of gradient between these colors. You're noticing that as the sun hits the barrier, it creates this sort of aurora throughout the interior. And as you stare up at the building that is the Arcanist Inquisition headquarters, this is where I get to finally reveal to you the map that we will be using for this venture of yours. This is not a traditional D&D map. It is much more akin to something that you would find in
Oh, yeah.
a Castlevania game, or you would find in, I guess, a prolific example would be a, it's like Super Mario Bros. 3 kind of thing. And so as you approach, you find yourself on a bridge overlooking the chasm that surrounds the entirety of the building. And you get the sense that some of this chasm is natural, but some of it seems to have broken away recently, as if something about the earth itself has been molding. Something about the earth itself has been falling away. And it's been revealing some of the foundation and the understructure of the building. And it is allowed for you to see that this building that you thought was just at home within a space such as the Great Lion's Ascent is in itself a beast unto itself, with many, many chambers and many places for there to be uncertainty, for many nefarious things to hide. However, as you approach, the first location that you will find yourself entering is, it looks like a large guardhouse along the bridge. Actually, as a DM, instead of just moving forward, I would like to ask each of you, what are each of your thoughts as you enter into this space? What is your sensation? Are you astounded? Are you astonished? Are you afraid? Are you unwaving?
I'm just bloodthirsty.
Val's just saying this is going to take forever. This place is massive.
I'm determined.
Orgoff just
I'll,
goes, whoa, what a place.
Bala is less concerned with what's in front of him and more concerned with the fact that he's stuck here now.
And stuck here you are for the unforeseeable future, as it appears that you will be stepping directly into a place of the unknown. Not
Into the unknown.
true. Well, nobody who isn't a member of the Arcanist Inquisition has been inside this building. The closest location that a non-member has been in is what is known as the grounds of the Silver Rose. That is by all means, the meeting point between their world and your world. And so, as you step forward and enter through the open archway, you find yourself here. I need to add Bala to that and remove Scoop.
Forget Zug.
And add Zug. Zug goes there, Bala goes here. Immediately as you enter, you realize that whereas this location is clearly supposed to be a place where a garden exists, a sort of plaza, a meeting point, it is a location that is surrounded by death and destruction. Clearly, whatever it is that has happened here was devastating. And this is merely the sneak peek. However, I would like everybody to roll a perception check.
Oh, and don't forget to add Draco as well.
Oh yes, I'll need to add Draco.
Advantage, by the way.
Oh, like absolute shite.
Nami advantage.
Yes.
Why Nami advantage?
Keen senses.
Okay. So you're gonna send Nami forth. And as you do so, you are going to be able to provide some general intel. I'm going to move your token forward just so that you get a greater idea for the area, and that will reveal the area for everybody else. That in the distance, you see that there are, at first appears to be people. People who are sort of standing and walking throughout the ruins of this Garden of the Silver Rose, or Court of the Silver Rose. And grounds of the Silver Rose, that's the word. But upon some witness, it is obvious that these are skulking beings. They have human bodies, but it seems like they are almost mindless. One of them seems to be trying to scrape up the remains of... Well, you're clearly going to see one come over here and try to scrape up the remains of a body that has been sitting there for some time. And in the far end, you see a creature that seems to be of a larger stature. It's odd because this creature has a very rugged exterior. They look hulking. You've never seen such a creature before in your life, you don't think. Bala, please roll a... I think in this case, it's going to be an Arcana check. Okay. Interestingly enough, you've seen a couple of sketches of this sort of creature. This... Just make sure that I am pronouncing the name correctly of it. It is a Quaggoth. A creature of the Underdark. It makes you curious as to why a creature of the Underdark could be here on the surface, but then again, it doesn't... This place doesn't seem to have any relation to the rest of the surface that you're aware of. From what you know, is that these creatures, they are quite feral, and it's not advisable that somebody engages with one-on-one. But there are some instances of creatures such as this being partially proficient with magic as well. You don't know enough to determine what is the case for this creature. And that is the information that your scouting is going to give you, except, of course, a couple of other things. Use your roll to 23. There is clearly shadows in the distance that indicates that there are more of these wandering creatures. And so it's not necessarily going to be an option for anybody to sneak past. Also, upon closer inspection, you notice that some of these entrails are in fact moving.
Oh, great.
Sweet.
So feel free to report back and let everybody know what you see.
Okay, so Nami has seen these. I don't know how to describe them other than zombie-like creatures wandering around. They're kind of like picking at remains of what seems to be some sort of, I guess, people that were here. Also, there's these brain-like things walking around. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what we see. And then there's this giant. Sorry.
Is that the only way through that you saw?
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any way to get around.
Okay.
Not to mention, there's a. Don't know if you know what a Quaggoth is. I've seen sketches of it. Now I've seen it in person. And I wish I hadn't.
Is it big?
Yes, quite big.
Oh, I'll take care of it.
Oh no.
Probably
Just
not the best
hurry up.
idea.
I know what it is. Probably not.
Different, different people who fight in different arenas are not necessarily aware of all of the creatures that fight in arenas that are not the arenas they fight in. Underdark is a very specific category of creature. It is understandable if anybody is not familiar with the oddities down far, far below the earth, the world. So, from your position, you've all begun to notice that there's these skulking, stumbling creatures. They have not noticed you at all. None of you.
I just feel like if we tried to fight them, more would come, and we might be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Now we take them out.
I
There's
think
no other way
distraction
to
would
do.
be the best. If there was a way we could draw their attention to one side, maybe sneak past on the other way.
Can I stealth my way quickly around here and just see if I can see if I can see a way through?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Roll a stealth check if you may.
For once, don't roll like shit. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
All right, you believe you're stealthy.
Oh, great. Oh, there's a dead horse. Okay. These are complete walls, but there's no other way up here. What do I see if I look up?
Say that again?
So if I look around here, what do I see? Is it just walls that go straight up?
Yeah,
or...
so those are walls that just go straight up.
Okay. It's blocking the entrance, actually, no problem. Okay.
From your position, roll a perception check.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Come on for once.
17's
Not
good.
bad.
Couple
Not bad.
things that are worth noting.
Mhm.
So they.
If I use the scope of my gun, could I get advantage?
Well, let me paint the picture for you. You are looking around at the locations nearby, and you realize that this pillar in particular has a certain structure of a dragon that is wrapping around that column. You could, without too much difficulty, find your way to climb up a little bit higher to give yourself a vantage point with your sniper rifle. Now, your sniper rifle is not silenced, but you imagine that firing at the distance with your sniper rifle, and especially the fact that you are an assassin, you're...
That was my plan, as I was sneaking around here to be like, where can I get a vantage point?
Yeah. But of course, as a sniper, it's always tricky, because perhaps there's a way to try to hide, try to deafen your muzzle, or the muzzle of your gun. You could... Do you have anything... do you have anything on you that you imagine that you could, like, wrap around the barrel?
I'd hoped it had already was... Because I was going for, like, a stealth kind of weapon with it. I was hoping it wouldn't be... It's a rifle that's going to be fucking loud. She would kind of make certain things of, like, literally just cushioning it at the front of, like, getting, like, a bottle kind of thing at the front of it.
Okay.
Either wooden or something to make it, like, with soft things inside, just to make it would lower the range a bit, but it would silence it a little. But I think that would only be good for, like, one shot, basically, where it's silent. The rest would be loud then, because you just break it immediately.
So this is what that will get you. Essentially, you can, if you succeed with a sleight of hand to do that, then you will have your first shot muffled, and in which case, you get a free shot, and they get... Well, you get a shot where they get disadvantage on any sort of detection, and it's not... And they don't hear a bang right away. They get a disadvantage on trying to detect that anything's amok.
Plus, with Assassinate, I literally get advantage on attack rolls against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet, or
that is correct.
I get critical hit on anything that's surprised.
Yep. So you can...
How do critical hits work with your campaign? Do you roll...
Double the roll.
Okay.
Or that is to say, take the roll that you make and double
it. Okay.
Double it. So that you figure is your best option of a plan for your placement. You might want to
rendezvous back.
Slip back and then let them know what your plan is and see where they could put themselves.
Yeah. Okay, so I might be able to get a vantage point to get you guys a clear way through, at least draw some attention. I could try taking out one of them, either the big guy or one or two of the smaller ones to clear the way a bit. It's whether or not that will draw attention. I could definitely give you guys cover from the air if you want to try taking this.
I want to punch the big thing.
Not sure that's advisable.
Why not?
Because it will punch you back.
Nice. It's better that way.
Okay. What do you guys think? Want to take it on? Because I don't think there's any way to sneak through this.
Want to? No. Willing to, if I must.
All right. Take advantage of the second shot, because that one's going to be loud. In that case, then I go back over here, and I'll try climbing up to get a vantage point.
Okay. What is everybody else going to do to prepare?
Here.
19. I'm guessing I'm about like here then.
So let's see how big this is. 20 foot.
So we're pretty much trying to sneak, right? That's what we agreed on?
You're trying to get yourself into a position to begin fighting when they are alerted.
Zug's gonna hold like to the side and try to perceive when something goes on and just jump in, start fighting.
What's this circle?
So I'm going to prepare Hunger of Hadar right
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Once I hear the gunfire.
Okay.
I said go for the second shot. Maybe the first shot's gonna be muffled.
All right.
Right. So once he hears the loud shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Lear's out, ready to rock.
Okay.
Okay. You guys can put yourself. Just give it away up to that line without risking any detection. This line. As long as you're not standing in the opening, which you are presently.
I am?
2 of you are. Orgoth,
Oh,
Bala.
I thought it was bushes.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
fine.
Oh. Morgoth and Boy Wonder.
Orgoth and Boy
Yeah.
Wonder.
Just need to know where to put them.
Protect the boy.
From right over here. Where are you gonna put the boy?
Alright,
This kid is gonna be zombie food.
the boy will be here with me
All right.
if I can move him.
Like, well, those like baby carrier things,
hold
where
on a
like
sec,
you
hold on a sec,
have them
hold on a
like the front of your chest or your back.
Something to that effect.
Of course, now I can't see Orgoth because of the boy's vision.
Oh, I gotta change the boy's vision. Remember, it's 30 and 30. Okay, cool. If you click on Orgoth, you can see your original vision. Okay, cool. So, in which case, everybody is in position. Bala says as a reaction, they're going to cast Hunger of Hadar. And then, but that's going to happen on the second shot. So, Val, first thing that you're going to want to do is, I didn't see a sleight of hand. I will need to get a sleight of hand from you.
Yeah, no worries.
Dodge is going to be a nat 1.
Yeah, watch it now. Not bad.
don't jinx it. Come on.
Messy work. It's not the best.
Messy work. It's gonna lower the DC for them to detect something, but hey, you can choose a target. Who do you want to fight?
I'm going straight for the big guy.
You're going straight for the big guy, so you're gonna you're gonna wound the big guy.
Yeah, because if I'm going critical on something, I'm gonna try doing damage to the big thing because I feel like these guys are gonna be a lot easier to just get.
Sure
like
thing.
our two.
Don't use those
out.
words. Don't use those words.
Pardon?
Don't use those words. Easier is not in your vocabulary.
More manageable.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. If you could, please. Let's see. It would be an advantage, so roll an attack roll with your sniper rifle with advantage.
That's an advantage. 22.
22. That is going to hit. So, because they are not initiated yet, and you are using the assassinate ability, it is a critical hit. And so that is going to be
2d8.
2d8
Plus 3.
2d8 plus 3, and then we're going to double that. Now, if I'm correct, you also have maybe I'm wrong here. You have assassinate. This is, also sneak attack. So also add your sneak attack damage and your.
Yep.
I need to double check. Sneak attack, critical hit. The sneak attack.
It does double.
It's
does
3d6, so.
Yeah, all dice.
So roll all dice and we'll double it.
Oh my god, that's gonna be an amazing god! Let's go! God,
3d6 plus
Mhm.
2d8 plus 3. Double that is 42.
42.
Well, the 3 doesn't double, but
Uh,
Oh, good point. So,
oh, the 3 doesn't double. Okay, so it's actually 39.
yeah.
All right. So, in which case I need to roll some wisdom checks.
Definitely not as good as it could have been.
But remember, it's still going to be a disadvantage, but
Yeah.
let me roll at normal again. Okay. Let's see. Go 1, 2. Let's do it to the individuals nearest. That's a 7.
good thing it's a
And-
disadvantage.
Perception is what it is. Disadvantage. 12. Perception, disadvantage. 13. And then one more creature I need to make it for. All right.
Yes.
The Quaggoth is you did not take out the Quaggoth, but basically kind of paint the picture. What does this look like?
Leaning down behind, like just on the wall, kind of balancing there, she leans over, looks through the scope, and tries to aim for the head, basically, as she lines up the shot and takes it. And you just hear kind of it splinter the wood at the front, where she kind of made like a really rushed silencer. See if you can muffle the sound of it a bit with like cotton and wooden thing, and it splinters around it, but more silent than like a gunshot going off. And the bullet strikes through, hitting it just. I think it's the meat of it was obviously really tough, so it didn't kill it, but it did strike true in the head.
All right. Your bullet flies into the creature, and there is a massive stream of ichor that blows out of the exit wound as it strikes, and you hear a loud roar. It is almost like a gravelly, like a rock slide sort of roar. It's so raw and inhuman, not even beastly. It's just terrifying. As it realizes that it's hit, it begins scurrying around, panicked, and it starts running and it starts sniffing the air, and it smacks this mindless thrall. Doesn't actually do damage to it, but the mindless thrall is now wandering around. And so what's interesting is a couple of these a couple of the entrails that you see on the ground, they actually start moving.
A little gross.
And they begin sort of scanning the area, and you can definitely tell that they sense something. They sense that something is nearby. Their guard was down for too long. You have an opportunity for a second shot.
Yeah, I'm going again.
And this is going to give
Would
away
it be?
your position.
Would
at
it
this
still
point.
be assassinate in the sense of I'd still get advantage because it's before their roll?
The wording of assassinate is starting at 3rd level. You are your deadly. No, you advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet. Them moving, the creatures that have moved around have essentially taken a turn in the combat, quote unquote.
Okay.
So, it will not be an assassinate roll, but you can still make a.
Because they're not
attack
surprised
roll.
anymore because obviously they've been hit.
Right, and it's still
Would it
still a sneak
though?
attack because you're still
Okay.
hidden to them. They have no idea where you are.
Brilliant. Okay, let's go again. It's just normal. It's just normal attack damage now.
Correct.
Ah, fuck me, Bunny.
Oh, I'm sorry. You still need to roll. You still need to roll. Oh, that was your attack roll. That was 5.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was my
got it.
attack roll. I was wondering if attack was with advantage or not because I'm still a sneak.
All right.
But no.
Its movement is extremely unpredictable. The way it moves is just not like any beast or creature that you've ever encountered, and so your shot goes wide, and it rings throughout the room, and all of them are now alerted. And so, I know it's only going to be maybe 1 turn's worth, but we're going to get a turn of battle. And we are going to roll initiative, everyone. That is to say, well, first we're going to have Bala fire off his prepared spell as part of his preparation. So is there anything that needs to be done?
Not yet.
Okay.
So as soon as that goes off, Bala steps out and casts Hunger of Hadar, and a dense fog cloud surrounds a 20-foot area.
Okay. So dense fog cloud. Now it's time for each individual to enter into the. Oh, I'm gonna actually take different creature types and give them their own thing. So everybody roll initiative.
Wow, I did absolutely shit.
All right. So the initiative is as follows. Orgoth is going to go first.
How do I do initiative without it being? Sorry, I'm very new to the. Normally, my character thing is there, and it just says click for initiative. Where do I roll for initiative?
Oh, I'll toggle combat state for you, and then if you go to encounter, you should be able to roll.
There you go. And it's
Okay.
dog shit.
Everybody says.
It's better than the other baddies. All right, so we're gonna go through 1 round of combat. Actually, just before the Intellect Devourer and Mindless Thrall get there, and we'll roll that beginning of next session. However, Orgoth, you are the first person to go, so go ahead and make your action.
Well, I'll do my bonus action, which is blood singing. So now I'll be at like 19 AC.
19 AC.
And then I'll just move. Yeah, and then I'll just move over here.
All right.
Just as a
And I
note, you
guess
guys can't see
prepare
into
for a
the
spell.
fog.
Yeah, I'll prepare. I'll prepare like Mind Sliver if I see someone arrive.
Okay, so you're gonna prepare a Mind Sliver for if somebody arrives. Got it.
Yep.
Excellent.
So
So
60 feet.
all right, and that's gonna be your turn.
Yep.
All right, in which case that is your turn, and we're gonna move it on to the Quaggoth. Only Val can see what the Quaggoth is doing. But the thing is that from the particular angle that you're taking there, Val, this mass of shadow is still something that may obscure your vision. But as the thing is that as the shot rings out, it looks up and it's staring directly in your direction.
Great.
Thing is that it's not the dumbest. I mean, it's a pretty dumb creature. Let's make an ability intelligence check here. Okay, it's not the dumbest of dumb creatures. It is going to move behind the cloud of shadow and out of sight. And then, of course, it's going to do a cure wounds on itself.
Oh, fuck me. I got that second shot in.
And then it is going to, let's see, that's just one action. It's going to do its move, and that's it for its turn. Then Draco Robshaw's turn. What are you going to do with Draco?
Draco would just stay close to his master, so...
All right. So how do you want to figure this in? I don't know if Draco needs to have his own initiative. I think if you go, Draco goes. Might be the best way.
All right, that works better. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Bala, it is your turn. Oh, Bala.
All right. I am going to. So, how far down is this ledge?
How far down is that ledge?
Yeah. How far down does it go?
From what you can tell, or what you were able to gather from Nala, each of those ledges are about 10 feet down.
Okay.
Unless it's 20 feet down or 30 feet down because of a drop. So, based upon elevations, from, if you can see me draw this, from here to here is 10 feet, from here to here is 10 feet, and from here to here is 10 feet. So this is 30 feet, and that's 20 feet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the cloud is just a 20-foot sphere, so would I be able to see over it to where the Quaggoth is?
Oh, yeah, elevation, shoot. You're right, I didn't even think about the elevation. So, hold on, I'm gonna retcon something. He's gonna go down into...
Ah, shit.
I mean, it would only make sense if he went down into it. So, maybe not.
Can he?
Is that even...
It can.
Probably not a good idea.
I'll allow it.
Hold on, I gotta retcon his turn then, because I thought it was, I thought it was gonna obscure more, but it doesn't. So, hold on. Still gonna heal, but the movement is gonna be more to the tune of, let's see here. Yeah, I think he's just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right, now you can proceed. It's your turn.
All right. So Bala's going to come up to this edge over here, and is going to Eldritch Blast this guy over here.
All right.
Target. Haha. Right. So.
Eldritch Blast. You cast, and then it shows up in your chat to hit the button.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. That is going to be enough damage. What does this look like?
So he runs up, seeing that the Quaggoth has gone off to the side, and gets around to where you can see the around the smoke cloud that he's created, and just launches his arm out straight, and a almost like a gust of wind comes out and like swirls and spins in a spiral and almost creates a spike as it just drills straight through the chest.
All right. As this spiraling spike juts forward and pierces into its chest, you see this just grotesque mixture of old blood and ichor splurt out the back of its body, and it moans and crumples to the ground, dead.
Okay, and then he's gonna use the rest of his movement to go here
Mm-hmm.
and do the same thing to this one. Hopefully the same thing.
You get 2 Eldritch Blasts.
I do.
It's a 5th level. Instead of extra damage, they get another attack.
What feature is that?
Not a
It's
feature,
just
it's part of the
Eldritch
spell.
Blast. Yeah.
Like Scorching Ray,
Okay.
but a
Yeah,
cantrip style.
All right.
Yeah, 2 beams
Uh,
at 5th level, 3 at 11th, and then
Sure.
4 at 17th.
And what does that look like?
It looks the same. It just doesn't have as much of an impact. And that's only 7 damage, not the 3. I only get Genie's Wrath once a turn.
As you can tell, they don't have a lot of constitution. So they go down pretty easily.
And then as my bonus action, let's see if Nami can make it. Oh, she's just shy. So yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right. In which case, Zug, you are now up. Now, you don't see any immediate creatures for you to bash. However, you still have a turn to take.
I'm gonna move up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, shit's going down. And I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the air rage as always. And I'm gonna hold an action to punch anything that gets near me and is an enemy.
Okay. Holding your action to attack anything
Yeah.
that gets near you that's an enemy.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be your turn. Windveer, it is your turn.
All right. Here, probably be a little bit smarter just to move over here. See this one right there.
See what one?
This guy right here.
Across?
Yeah. Am I able to see him or not?
This one?
Click.
That one?
Oh, I was gonna say the one in the circle. I can't see it.
No,
Okay, I
the
can
ones
see
in the
these guys.
circle, you can't see them.
Okay. Let's see here. Do I have a... Far away are they? That is the real question. Yeah, I got. I got barely got nothing for this, so I'm just gonna stay where I am for the time being.
Okay. That's what you want to do?
Already vicious mockery in case one gets close to my vision.
Okay. Excellent. In which case, next up is going to be Val. You are...
Why am I 5?
Why are you what?
I'm at 25 HP. I don't think I hit you last time.
Why are you at 25 HP?
There we go. Yeah,
No,
I
it
fixed it
says
now.
you're at 33.
Yeah, I just fixed it.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to run across the wall up here just so I can see it. Because right now I cannot. Just run to that.
Run across the... Oh, there's no running across the wall.
Oh, I can't do that? At
No,
all?
you're... The pillar is just a pillar. There isn't like a top of the wall that you can run across.
Right, okay. You can see it. There's one. In that case, I'm gonna jump down to here.
Alright. Okay.
And get to about there, if I can. See, I still can't see it. Wait. It backed up into around here, right?
Say that again.
The big Quagos thing it backed up around here, right?
You saw the Quaggoth run around the corner.
Okay. Let's go to there. Nope, still can't see you. In that case, then I'm just gonna shoot. Okay, I'll just shoot this one here.
All right. Take aim and fire. You would be revealed at this point, so it's just a straight roll with your weapon.
No. I am going to kill somebody.
All right, 9, unfortunately. Actually, sorry. It hits the AC exactly,
Oh my god, was it actually?
but I do believe hitting the AC is a failure.
Oh, I thought it was hitting the
No,
AC.
no,
Meets
no.
or beats.
You hitting it just
Yeah.
exactly as
Meets
a
or
hit.
beats.
Meets or beats. All right. Yep, you hit it.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
Is you deal 12 damage to it. And of course, that's going to be enough for you to pretty much take it out. What does this look like?
It's pretty kind of sloppy where she kind of was aiming like she normally does for the heart or head. She ends up hitting it like around the shoulder or hip, and it does go down, but she's really pissed off with herself. Like, God, fucking down with that aim shite.
It goes down in such a way where the force of the bullet manages to basically like contort its body. So like the top part of its body is like almost completely turned around, but the bottom is still facing you, and it staggers around for a few steps before it crumples to the ground. All
She's not
right.
even half with the thought. She's just like, damn it.
So the first shots have been taken. We have a bunch of individuals who have prepared certain actions to take once the enemy makes its move. And so there are more along the way. You hear a series of moans and hisses, an entire chorus of moans and hisses coming from the back. And the pitter-patter of feet. However, you will not see what comes around the corner until next session of Tales of SEGLESIA. And this is where I get to let everybody know that, please, if you could, prepare your character sheet decisions for after this battle. For upon completing this battle, you will be level 7.
Oh.
So, in short, don't make your characters level 7 yet. Don't make them level 7. Just be prepared to make them level 7 once the battle is finished.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right.
All
I
right.
get advantage on initiative. Finally.
So that, my friends, is going to wrap up today's session. Wrapping up certain specific scenes and arcs that were to take place before entering. But now we are here. Now we are deep into the mysterious and unknown depths of a completely twisted and corrupted Arcanist Inquisition headquarters. What mysteries, what wonders, what horrors will our characters discover as they venture further into the fold? We will find out in the coming weeks. But for now, this has been Magpie 18 playing as Volvari.
Lovely playing with you all.
This has been Dr. Swiggums playing as Windveer.
And hoof picks.
This has been Phoenix V playing as Orgoth.
Heads and pikes. Whoa.
This has been Ambrose playing as Zug.
Reckless attack.
And this has been Masters 8 playing as Bala.
I told you there were more.
And so we are at a position where it's time for me to wrap up the stream, but in accordance with rolling together stream team membership, I am obligated to pay it forward to one of the rolling together stream team members. And so we will initiate a raid in just a short moment, but I'm going to switch away from this scene and will come back to my players later. But of course, it's late for some, so naturally, if any of y'all need to leave for the evening, you may. But in summary, it has been a pleasure and a privilege, and I, Chaotic and Writer, will see all of you in the next episode. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Everybody.
See ya.
All right. So, dire straits. Not quite, actually. It seems like our characters are on top of things. It seems like their debut into this place is seemingly simple, perhaps deceptively simple. It's hard to say precisely what level of complication and terror they may discover. We'll have to find out. Because I, as the DM, as you can imagine, once again, a mage academy, there's all sorts of very interesting things that one would have planned for such a session as this. But I digress. It is time to pay it forward. It is time to move onward. As we have a... affiliated streamer who is in the midst of their own campaign. Wild Beyond the Witchlight is what they are running. And they have a giveaway. So if you're interested in those things, if you are compelled to join the chat to support Phoenix Iwaki in the endeavors of Dungeons and Dragons, please gather your swords and prepare your spells, because we are about to engage in a raid of Phoenix Iwaki. Let's see at what chapter they are at in Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please support your fellow streamers. Show Phoenix Iwaki the same amount of love that you've shown me this evening. And let us begin. The raid has begun. We have 2, 3, perhaps 4, perhaps 5, perhaps 6, 7, 8 Avengers, 8 adventurers ready to take it to the next level. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next episode.